we're back to do another review. This is another Kuiu product, the Kuiu meat bags. This is a large one, and I'll just kind of go through some of the things that we liked about it, a few of the things that could be improved, and just what to expect from this. So far I've only taken this bag on a couple hunts, but the one that I want to talk about is we went to the Arctic for a muskox hunt, and as you can imagine, there's a lot of logistics going up there, coming back. But one of the big things we wanted to do was bring some of this muskox meat back, and chose to get a bunch of these Kuiu meat bags. We put the meat in here, we froze it, packed that meat into the taku bags and brought it home, and with fairly good success. So the one thing with these meat bags, I'll just show you, the zippers they're not the heaviest duty zippers, but they're heavy duty enough and appropriate for this bag and what this is. The material is very lightweight, but very strong. Fairly easy to clean. So what we did when I got home, these were obviously soaked in blood. So what I did was I put them into a pail with some OxiClean, let them soak for a few hours or overnight, I can't remember what it was, and then just threw them in the washing machine and washed it, and they came out really clean, so that worked great. So super easy to clean, very packable, very light, and for what they are, pretty good construction. The one thing that I did not like on this bag was, for all the sizes, regardless of small, medium, or large, they all have these same spindly little handles on them. And the thing I found was the handles were, on this larger bag, were definitely too small. So when you see what comes across the bottom here, now I'm not saying it can't hold the weight, but the problem was you always had to carry it two hands like this at all times. I made the mistake after I had the bag loaded about 2/3 full. I picked it up with one handle to kind of get it out of the way somewhere, and this seam ripped down the bag. This one's actually the bag that ripped, so my wife was able to re-sew it, but when we picked it up, it ripped. So you just have to be cognizant that if you go to lift this bag with any kind of load, you need both handles, pick it up properly. The other thing with this bag as well, on the large, the handles are, I'm going to say, probably a little too close to the center. They probably could stand to move out just a hair more to the edge, just because when you have the weight, just the way the handles are, it would help with the load distribution. If they were a little wider, and then the straps being a little wider as well, I found it to be kind of an awkward carry when this thing was full. I found this bag in particular, the large size, was best when it was about 80–85% full. Any more than that, it just seemed to the seams seemed to really want to explode and stretch out and whatnot. But about 85% full was about ideal on this. The one thing with these, though, they don't look like they would hold much, but they actually hold a significant amount of weight. When I packed these in the taku bag for the airport, I think we were only able to put 2 full ones into a taku bag, and that got us up to our 75-pound weight limit. So they do hold a ton of weight, or a ton of meat, I should say, for the size of them. And it's a little deceiving. When I first got it, I didn't think this would hold much, but they actually hold a ton of weight, and were actually quite a strong, well-constructed bag for what they are. I would not recommend planning on getting this bag and just carrying it around, like grabbing this, throwing it in the back of your truck, carrying it around and using it kind of like a duffel bag for hauling your meat around. I would definitely use this as a means of keeping your meat clean, and then putting it into a backpack or another carry, some kind of other thing to carry your stuff around. If you go around carrying it in these bags will rip or fail eventually, and probably sooner than later. They're just not, the material's just too thin. It's just not strong enough with these handles and the construction, but for what they're for, they work great. There's a lot of volume in them. Definitely would recommend getting a set or something similar to them if you don't already have them, and put them in your backpack or your bag. It's just a great way to keep your meat clean and the leaves and dirt and twigs and all that stuff off of it. The other advantage of these two is because the material does leak, the blood from your meat will drip out, so it's not, you don't have your meat sitting in this pool of stagnant blood. It will drain, and that's very handy as well. Yeah, like I said, we did have this in the Arctic. They held up incredibly well for what they are, and I can't remember the price on these. I want to say they're $35 US or somewhere around that price. They were, my estimation, they are a little expensive for what they are, but there is a lot of work that goes into making the bag. But compared to, like, you can get a taku for about $150, and to me that's a pretty superior bag for the price. These did feel expensive for what they were, but you know, considering they're reusable, you can wash them, probably last you years, and if you do a little maintenance on them, and so when they get ripped once in a while, they probably last you 5+ years, I would think. So anyways, this one, I'd say get a meat bag, whether it needs to be this brand or not, that's up to you, but I'd give this probably a 3.5 out of 5-star rating. I was happy with it, I just don't know if I would buy it again. Yeah, anyways, well, leave your comments below. If you have a meat bag like this or another brand, leave us your feedback, and would love to hear about it. So, like I said, 3.5 out of 5 stars, not critical to have, but definitely a nice lightweight option to keep your meat clean.